Hi, my name is Marie-Jo Leroux. I'm in Montreal, Canada. I'm a former video game producer, and for the past almost 9 years, I've been developing simulations and video games for corporate clients. And those video games help train their learners and their employees on whatever they need to do through simulation. And as of this year, I'm teaching e-learning designers how to do the same, how to apply game design tactics to their own e-learning so that their training is more effective and engaging for the learners. What made me want to create an online program in the first place was that it was being asked for a lot by people. And initially, when I started my business, people were asking me to create a course, but I was feeling kind of precious and protective of my knowledge. And I used to kind of lose patience with people who would book me just to pick my brain and find out how I was doing what I was doing. But over time, after several years, I kind of realized that I really enjoyed talking about this stuff and sharing it. And I realized also that if I'm the only practitioner or one of very few, I was going to have less of an impact. So a couple of years ago, I started wanting to kind of formalize all the experience I had gained into some form of document. I didn't know if I was writing a book or whatever. And eventually it turned into a YouTube channel. And that's when I discovered Sunny. And she talked about tying it to a course, which is something that had been bumping around in my head for a while. So with the pandemic and me not being able to teach it for real in meet space with people, I really got serious about making it into an online course. The way AA really helped me build my online course was that, again, when I was building my online course, I had already built a business 9 years before. And looking back at that, I knew that all those things that I was worried about when I first started my very first business, about 50% of them, I need not have worried about them. So I had lost a lot of sleep over all sorts of things when I started my first business. And starting a new online course business, I was worrying about all sorts of things too. But this time I knew at least 50% of them were things that I shouldn't worry about. I just didn't know which ones. So this time I really didn't want to waste a lot of time and effort and worry and sleepless nights worrying about things that were not important. So I decided to hire somebody and kind of outsource those decisions and that agonization. And it took me a couple of months before I joined AA. And so during those months, I did lose sleep over, for example, cohort-based versus evergreen. And then you get into AA and Sunny says, well, evergreen. And it's like you've outsourced those decisions to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, and you don't have to agonize over it anymore. So for me, it was removing a lot of that uncertainty. That was the first big thing that helped me with joining AA. And the second big thing that helped me about joining AA was as I was starting this process of making an online course, I felt like maybe I wasn't the right person for that. I'm not a very people-oriented person. So to become a teacher was sort of a challenge for me. I thought I'm not much of an Oprah personality. I'm much more of a Judge Judy. But Sunny's process actually helps you niche down and realize what strengths there are in your particular personality. And that kind of Judge Judiness I have helps me actually sell my program better, because my program is really about getting rid of all the shiny object syndrome when it comes to gamifying training. There's a lot of shiny object syndrome when it comes to games. People are interested in the beautiful graphics and the 3D and the AR and the VR, and really kind of focusing on getting the learners to the result is my unique selling point. And I've actually been able to, through Sunny's process, find that strength in me and realize that's actually something that distinguishes me, and I can use it to make my course better and help my students even more. And so the niching down process was an unexpected plus, and it's made my course a lot better as a result. In terms of tangible results, because I've made my course better through the niching process and through also all the ICA interviews, talking to the actual audience, through that process, I've been able to make my course a lot better, which means that I've 6x'd my price in the past 6 months. So I've increased my price by 600%. And I have no problem doing that because the course is so much better. And just recently, this is another thing that's in the Sunny process, is she says, at some point you will do a live webinar. And this is something I never would have thought would work. I never thought people would come to a live webinar and stay while I pitched the course. And yet, using her template and her example, by the end of my webinar, 100% of people sat through the pitch. And now 26% have applied for my program, and 2 more people who had not bought yet have written me since then in the past 4 days to say, yes, I'm ready now that I've seen the webinar. So those are some great tangible results that are completely unexpected. If you're thinking about applying to the Authority Accelerator, but you think it might not work for you because you're X, Y, Z, whatever reason, turn off that doubt machine and just book a call. They will tell you if there's something about where you are in your journey that is just not ready yet or something. Just book a call and they will tell you. But I promise you, most of the time, if you at least are enough of an action taker to book the call, you will not regret booking that call.